Casper Machine Products is a business that's been around since 1945. We're a precision manufacturer in the advanced manufacturing realm. We make parts for people like Bobcat and Polaris and Toro. We have about 125 employees here. We're in business to give those families good livings rather than actually making parts. That's our credo in life here. As I mentioned before, my customers are big OEMs like Bobcat and Polaris and Toro. They're very savvy purchasers and they know where to get the best price and quality and delivery. If I'm missing on any of those three components, they're really able to move their parts to India and China, or certainly out of state. So my competition is competing with me on those three categories all the time. Governor Dayton said when he was elected that he knew where the money was and he knew how to get it. So we shouldn't really be surprised when we have the new top tier income tax bracket, and that particularly affects pass-through income, which is sometimes kind of hard to understand. Obviously our governor said he didn't understand it at all. So it shouldn't be any surprise that it causes some problems to businesses when the governor doesn't understand how it works. What happens is if I'm going to pass through $200,000 worth of income to my own personal income tax statement, that's $4,000 worth of taxes that I have to pay on my personal income tax. The company gives me that money to pay so that I don't have to pay it out of my own pocket, and that's typically the way most companies do it. I never see that $200,000 that passes through. Of course, that's part of the company's income, so I never see that on my own income. But that $4,000 does have to be paid out of the company coffers. Now, you look at that and what that means. If I didn't have to pay that $4,000 out, I would have plowed that back into my business here. Whether it's hiring another person, or that's about a full year of benefits, health benefits for one of my people. And you look at that, the impact, some of the parts that I make here, on a part like this that I have about a penny's worth of profit on, that's 400,000 of these that I would have to make again to make up that sort of profit. It's a burden, and it's another burden on Minnesota businesses in an already stressed business climate for the businesses that we really don't need. It's just another heap on. It's another way to show businesses that we really don't cherish them as members of our community, that we should hold up and actually support. Just another way to tax and get a little more money. It's funny, at the most recent Minnesota Chamber event, Governor Dayton mentioned, and I think it was Fortune magazine that named us one of the best places to do business in the country. What he failed to mention was the next line of that article, which said, in spite of their dismal tax climate. So just think how good we'd be doing if it wasn't for the dismal tax climate. We're a very paternalistic business here. We like to take care of our people, and they look to us for that type of, what do I want to say, wrap our arms around our folks and really take care of them. What hurts is when you have to have your shop meetings and it's always bad news. We're not giving raises this year, or we're going to increase your health insurance costs, or gee, guess what, we're cutting hours. So it would be nice to be able to give them a little good news once in a while, and it just doesn't seem to come very often. Yeah, I think I have a good relationship with my legislators. I testify whenever I'm asked about something that I'm passionate on, whether it's the state portion of property taxes or this pass-through income. What we'd really like to see is a repeal of the business portion of that top-tier tax, and that would really help businesses, get a little breather from the oppressive tax structure we've got here in the state. Sure. Senator Bach said in one of his meetings that he would consider rolling back the pass-through portion of this tax if we could be sure that the business owners would reinvest that in their companies. And I just thought that was sort of a humorous thing for him to say, because first off, they didn't put the tax on us because we weren't investing it back. Why would they say that they would give it back to us if only we would put it back into our companies? As a business owner, we scrimp, we save, the people get paid first before we ever put the money back in our pockets. If we're not reinvesting into our businesses are failing. It's frustrating to do business in Minnesota where our businesses are looked at solely as a source of income for the government. Other states hold their businesses up as cherished citizens, and it would be nice if Minnesota could start looking at their business citizens the same way.